sure you've heard of something called post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. Basically, if we break it down, it is where there's inflammation caused in the skin, and after we've had the inflammation, we actually have pigmentation that's being formed. Now, in one of my previous videos, I showed you what the melanocyte, the cell making the pigment, looks like. He has a body and he's got small little dendrites that actually go and they inject the pigment, the packets of pigment, into the surrounding normal keratinocytes. Now, the only other cell in the body that looks like the melanocyte is actually the Langerhans cell. And the Langerhans cell also has a body with little dendrites. And that is my first line of defense, my first immune cell that's being called upon when there seems to be an invader in the skin or some damage done to the skin. Now, often what happens is the minute we're creating some inflammation or injury to the skin, we have the Langerhans cell come and it kind of assess the problem. And then he decides, do I need to bring in the troops like the T cells? Do I only need to bring in that little sergeant called the macrophage? Will that little guy just be able to engulf it? So then it decides what's going to happen. At the same time, the cell that looks so similar to the Langerhans cell, the melanocyte, they're like two birds on a wire. You get the one excited and the other one is also getting triggered. So basically what happens is my immunity starts to kick in. I got inflammation because of the Langerhans cell, and now my melanocyte gets super excited. So it starts to make pigment, because remember in one of my previous videos I said that the pigment cell, the melanocyte, the main function of the melanocyte is there to actually protect us. So the melanocyte says, oh, there's inflammation, the Langerhans cell is called upon, something's happening, let me go and assess the situation and let me go and protect. And therefore it makes the pigment. Now, again, with the right products, you can actually cure and get rid of that post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So let's say you even have a breakout and you've got acne, you'll get a breakout, your skin might also be a darker Fitzpatrick, and therefore it leaves a dark mark afterwards, after the pimple has gone away and dried out. The best thing you can do is to put a blend of botanicals in there or on top of that skin to try and get rid of the pigment. But also the minute there's inflammation in your skin, try and get that skin with anti-inflammatories and soothing actives to go from inflammation to less inflammation, less redness, less swelling. So the biggest thing you want to do the minute there's inflammation is get as many anti-inflammatories onto that skin to potentially even prevent the post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So I hope that explains a little bit more what happens when there's inflammation and we end up with pigmentation afterwards. For us as professional skin therapists, it's one of the easiest hyperpigmentations to treat, and there's many products available on the market, many treatments that we can do afterwards, and try and then obviously get rid of that pigment that you're stuck with after inflammation.